Well, what a situation we've got in the world. Where do I start? I think I'll start with what's happening in Germany at the moment. The AfD party, which is far right or right of, and the government now wanting to ban them. A party what's been formed, and just because they're starting to get traction, they want to be banned. This is not a good idea. You need to. These parties get traction and more votes because the governments. This is to the German government. You're not looking after your own citizens. Listen to what the citizens want and try and do it. Simple, really. Instead of doing what you want or what you think it's good for everyone, because it's not. And going with a gender, whatever gender you're taking up at the time, it's frustrating to normal taxpayer. And when they say there is a problem, look at the problem. Not say you're far right. Then, because the more times you say to someone you're far right, the chances are they will vote for a far right party, and then we will be in trouble. So that's that. The links down below of all the resources, I've got all the resources for this video. So I wanted to get that one out because you can't just do away with a party just because you don't agree with some of the views what might be linked with that party. Tackle the problem with what the citizens say. If the citizens of your country say this is where the problem is, that's where you need to look at and target and try and resolve. I did want to go out and do the bug out, and the video is almost ready. That should be going up in the next couple of days. I just got to do the last little bit back in the forest, and I'm going to say this will probably be the last one in the house that I'll ever do regarding what's going on in the world. I think far too many YouTube channels about prepping are doing it now, and I weren't really happy about doing it, but obviously when COVID hit and everyone was stuck indoors, it just got into that little habit, and now I want to break away from that and go back to what I want to do is teach and show how to survive if you're bugging out. So that's going to come along in the next couple of days. And I suppose the second topic tonight is probably what everyone's been hearing about recently these last couple of days, but it really came out about 10 days ago. The British government are sending troops to do a massive training exercise, Nato, and there's loads of troops on the border with Russia. Do you know, a bit of deja vu here, right? Now, what other country, before they invaded, did a massive big training exercise on a border? Nah, like, I must be mistaken now. No, but I'm sure it happened. You know, they had a massive big training. Yeah, no, I'm sure. This link, from the BBC, about Russia mobilising troops on the Ukrainian border, and the Russia saying it was for training purposes. Oh, they invaded. Hello. I said Russia wouldn't attack NATO. I said it would be NATO attacking Russia. There'd be a red flag come up, some incident where we've been attacked. We need to retaliate. Get real. This has been their plan. Right? This is their plan. believe me. The fat cats, and boy, they are fat. Right, they really want a war because money means everything to them. They make more money from war than anything else, apart from medical, where they just take a piss. And and everyone's panicking now because obviously our armed forces is not very big because the government misspending or cutting back, wasting their money on other things, sending it over for, pledging it to Davos, and sending it to countries for who knows what's not going to happen. But so they're saying there's going to be a draft if we go to war with Russia. It's really handy that we're going to war with Russia or China, So, guys, look, this has happened in the past. World War Two. I don't want to burst anyone's bubble. The army didn't win World War Two as the regular army. It didn't win World War Two. People was drafted, and it was the civilians what won World War Two. So it weren't the army at all. The army, as far as the fat cats, is just cannon fodder. They're going to send them in, knowing they're going to wiped out, and they're just going to draft, force people into the army, and oh my God, can you imagine? Do you know, it wouldn't have been so bad if it happened like in the 90s, because you'd had my generation who would be prepared to fight and would fight. Can you imagine the kids of today? Well, my son's 15, right, and he's as skinny as a rake, right. In 3 years he'd be 18. We'll probably be in amongst the war, if there's going to be a war, because of the way it's going. We'd be at war. He'd be drafted as 18. The young people, and I dread to think him joining up. I don't want him to going off fighting for some fat cat to get rich even more. So I don't want that to happen. And so you really need to look at now the information. I'm not making this up. It's been in the news, right? It's on down below. You find the government website. It's on there. It's in the Telegraph, and it's obviously loads of people have been talking about it on YouTube and on TV. But kids of today are not geared up for fighting. It's just a way of just culling the population, which again Davos wants, and the political elite, and those names I cannot mention, Klaus Schwab's. That's what they want, guys. They want their it to themselves. So my message to them is, how about you create the robots, what would be your servants, go find an island, go to the island and leave everyone else in peace. Just the world would be a better place without you. It really would, for the amount of trouble what you're causing. So that's basically the nuts of the show. But my concern is, obviously, I'm not saying China's bad, but China's doing a lot of research into creating a robot army. If their army's not big enough already, they're creating a robot army. The links are down below. Here's a picture. The links are down below. Right. They've got them walking dogs, which I've seen one. Yeah, I saw one of them, a robot dog, into Scouts, and it's quite big, and they've strapped a machine gun to it. It's bonkers. Anything to save, and apparently that can be AI as well, to recognise to shoot certain people. It'll shoot anyone, wouldn't it, if it should recognise to shoot people? But yeah, it's just it's scary where technology's taken us, and it's it's not going to affect us. Just send them out. There's a chance it could bite your own backsides. Obviously, Lilly's talking about the great EU. with cutting back on cash, that you can only transaction, I think, off the top of my head, I think it's like 2,000 euros. I know it used to be 10,000, and they probably reduced that now, which they're going to reduce it down to like a couple hundred euros. Watch. So mark my word. And then obviously GB News is talking about Britain having nuclear missiles again. Sorry, we're a nuclear nation. We've got nuclear submarines, and they're worried about nuclear missiles at a base in England. Well, the only reason why they're not here now, because they probably would have been, is due to cutbacks back in 2008. That it was decided to wind down that them barracks, because obviously it was run by the Americans. Americans, Texas, yay Texas! You stand up to Joe Biden. If Texas ever went independent and formed its own country, I will be first at their embassy to go and emigrate there. Believe me, you know. But you've got Boris Johnson. Do you know, I'm ashamed of him now, saying he will fight Putin. Yeah, right, okay. I'll tell you what. Let's go back to the old way of doing things. Like, you can be our champion, and we have Putin's champion, and you fight it out amongst yourself, between you and their champion. The winner takes all. Leave everyone else alone. How about you doing that? If you're so brave. You're not. You're a fat sod, right, who's just jumping on a bandwagon because you've got nothing else to do. You know? So with the other links down below, you've got trouble in the Red Sea still, with the the Houthis in Yemen, still firing off missiles, and obviously it's expanding to more countries. For me, that's where the next war will be. That's where the war will be, honest. Then you've obviously the German news is covering the AfD. French news is covering Israel, because they're flip-flopping around. They're either for Israel or not for Israel. You can't be for Israel and saying, well, you know, reporting stuff which is against Israel. You know, for me, I think every country deserves a right to defend itself. You know, if they're attacked, they should be able to attack back. You know, Israel's proven that they can take over Gaza, because they've almost done it now. Do you know what I mean? If they really wanted to, they could have done. You know, so I don't know what the big fuss is about, apart from some not wanting to live with a neighbour. You know, and then Mahyer covering Telford. They're not Rotherham, they're at Telford, and the protest, what was going on there. Fair play to you. You know, all those who were in that scandal and those who let it happen, you're all scumbags. You know, it's disgusting what happened, and we should actually bring back the death penalty for certain crimes. That's what I feel. You know, but hey ho, I'm not in charge. Also, covering the news of Ukraine is the Enforcer. And Aljazeera is covering the court case about Israel. So that's basically what's gone on in the news around the world. And no one seems to care that we are forced into a war, and they're all saying it's Russia's fault. Russia's not going to launch a nuclear missile. Right? And I said this right at the start. They're not going to do that because they would lose the support of Japan, China says defence only for nuclear missiles, which it should be. You know, and NATO keeps pushing the button. You know, getting closer. We want you to do so. We want you to do something. You know, and when a slight accident happens, and I know a couple of missiles have gone into Romania, it's like, oh, it's not really. No one died, so we can't really do nothing. You know, I bet they were chomping at the jaws when they heard the missile hit Romania, thinking, oh, this is that chance. Guys, during this time where a lot of things are happening, you need to keep a level head. You know, there's a lot of preppers out there who are saying there's going to be a civil war. It's going to be, I know one guy in Canada, my favourite guy, he must have a big warehouse of all the stock that he's selling. I think every issue he's gone on about, oh, we're at war. We're at war, we're going to go to war. This is it. You need to do this. And a few more are covering it now. So that's why I thought, well, I'm just going to stop. You're getting it from too many people, and a lot of people are panicking or trying to create panic for supermarkets to run out of toilet roll. Yes, stock up on stuff. It's the sensiblest thing to do. You know, a level head will get you further. Be positive in what you do. You know, don't panic. Don't think we're all gonna die. You don't know. An asteroid could hit us, and we could be all wiped out. You know, so don't think that just because there's trouble brewing, it's on your doorstep straight away. Just plan, get your bug out scenarios, whatever it's going to be, in place. Know what you're going to do. With a level head, you're about to survive a lot better than panicking. So this is what I'm trying to say to everyone. A level head is better. And hopefully, the powers that be would have a level head and realise they should listen to their public, not the fat cats. But they won't, because they know the fat cats give them a job when they come out of doing public service. You know, what can we do? It's the system what we're in at the moment, and it should be done away with, somehow reformed, you know, and we start again somehow. So, if you didn't like me rambling, or did like me rambling, thumb up, thumb down. It's your choice. You know, if you like the video, share it. You know, so other people can try and have a level head and not to worry and panic about things. Because panicking, you will make mistakes, and in this day and age, you don't want to make mistakes. You know, you need to know what you're going to be doing with a positive attitude. You know, so I think that's about it for me tonight. It's only a quick one. Good night. Be safe. Keep practicing your skills, and the next video will come up will be me doing the bug out at a location. So, good night, everyone, and be safe.